future MVPs, 1 NBA Finals appearance, 0 championships. From 2011 through 2014, the Oklahoma City Thunder looked like the future of basketball. Kevin Durant was becoming one of the greatest scorers in the world. Russell Westbrook attacked the game with unmatched speed and aggression, and James Harden was developing into an elite playmaker, while Serge Ibaka protected the rim behind them. They were young, explosive, and already competing for championships before most of their stars had entered their primes. For a moment, Oklahoma City was not simply building a contender, it appeared to be building the NBA's next dynasty. Instead, it became one of basketball's greatest unanswered questions. What happened to the Thunder team that seemed destined to control the league? What makes this story so unbelievable is the amount of talent Oklahoma City had on one roster. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden would each eventually win an NBA Most Valuable Player award. Durant became one of the most unstoppable scorers in league history. Westbrook became a triple-double machine and one of basketball's most relentless competitors. Harden developed into an entire offensive system, capable of scoring or creating for a teammate on almost every possession. And for one brief stretch, all three wore the same OKC uniform. They were also supported by Serge Ibaka, an elite shot blocker, along with defensive role players who allowed the stars to control the offense. This was not merely a promising young core. It was a collection of talent almost no franchise ever gets to assemble. During the shortened 2011 and 2012 season, Oklahoma City finished with a 47-19 record and reached the NBA Finals. The Thunder posted a plus 6.5 net rating and possessed one of basketball's most dangerous offenses. What made the accomplishment even more impressive was their age. Durant and Westbrook were only 23. Harden was just 22. They were challenging experienced championship teams while still learning how to win at the highest level. Durant provided elite shot making. Westbrook created relentless pressure at the rim. Harden supplied efficient scoring and playmaking when the starters rested, and Ibaka added defensive athleticism and rim protection. Oklahoma City had talent, balance, and time on its side. Reaching the finals appeared to be the beginning of a long championship window. In the 2012 NBA Finals, the Thunder faced LeBron James and the Miami Heat. OKC won Game 1, but Miami responded by winning the next 4 games and taking the championship in 5. Durant still averaged more than 30 points per game, and Westbrook averaged 27 and scored 43 points in Game 4. Harden, however, struggled to reproduce the impact he had provided throughout the regular season. But that loss was not proof that the roster had failed. Oklahoma City was young. Miami was more experienced, more disciplined, and better prepared for the pressure of the finals. Losing should have become an important lesson for a developing contender. The obvious response was to keep the core together, improve the supporting cast, and return stronger. Instead, OKC entered the offseason and made a permanent decision based on a temporary defeat. This decision changed everything. Only months after reaching the finals, OKC traded James Harden to the Houston Rockets. In return, the Thunder received Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, and 2 first-round selections and 1 second-round pick. The move followed contract negotiations, in which OKC reportedly offered Harden 4 years and $55.5 million, slightly below the maximum deal he wanted. At the time, there was some logic behind the decision. The Thunder had already committed major money to Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka. Harden had struggled in the finals, and Kevin Martin could provide immediate scoring. But Oklahoma City misunderstood Harden's true value. He was not simply a bench scorer. They traded a future superstar before discovering what a full core could become. Amazingly enough, OKC became even better during the 2012-13 regular season. The Thunder finished 60-22, ranked first offensively, and produced an elite plus 9.8 net rating. Statistically, this may have been the strongest Thunder team of this entire era. Then, disaster struck during the first round of the playoffs. Russell Westbrook tore his lateral meniscus and missed the remainder of the postseason. Without Westbrook, the offense became far more dependent on Durant. Oklahoma City lost its pace, its pressure at the rim, and one of its primary creators. This was the exact type of situation in which Harden would have been invaluable. He could have handled the ball, created his own shot, and reduced the burden placed on Durant. Instead, Oklahoma City entered the most important games of its season without Westbrook, and without the star it had traded away. During the 2013 and 14 season, Kevin Durant delivered the greatest regular season of his OKC career. He averaged 32 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game while winning his first league MVP award. Westbrook missed 36 games, but the Thunder still finished 59-23 because Durant kept them among the NBA's elite. OKC defeated Memphis, the LA Clippers, before reaching the Western Conference Finals against San Antonio. Then Serge Ibaka injured his calf and missed the beginning of the series. He eventually returned, but OKC had already fallen behind. The Spurs' passing, spacing, and depth exposed the Thunder's weaknesses. OKC still depended heavily on Durant and Westbrook, creating difficult shots against an elite defense. But once again, the Thunder came close, and once again, their margin for error disappeared. So, where exactly did OKC go wrong? 4 issues define the collapse of its championship window. First, the organization treated Harden as replaceable, even though his combination of scoring, efficiency, and playmaking was extremely rare. Second, it prioritized financial flexibility over keeping a historically talented young core together. Third, the roster never developed enough shooting, spacing, and reliable secondary creation around Durant and Westbrook. Against elite playoff defenses, the offense often became predictable. And finally, OKC behaved as though time and health were guaranteed. The franchise assumed there would always be another season, another playoff run, and another opportunity to correct its mistakes. But championship windows can disappear quickly, and Harden's trade reduced OKC's margin for error. Westbrook's injury in 2013 and Ibaka's injury in 2014 revealed just how small that margin had become. So, what happens if OKC keeps James Harden? There is no guarantee the Thunder become a dynasty, but the possibilities are enormous. The actual 2013 team won 60 games without him. Keeping Harden would have given OKC another elite creator after Westbrook's injury and a much better chance of surviving the Western Conference playoffs. In 2014, Durant's MVP season could have been combined with a more developed Harden and a returning Westbrook. Beyond that, all 3 stars would have entered their primes together, while Ibaka remained one of the league's strongest defensive big men. Questions about roles, contracts, and ball possession would still have existed, but those were problems worth solving. OKC had assembled 3 future MVPs before any of them had reached his peak. That roster deserved more than one attempt at winning a championship. The legacy of the 2011-14 Oklahoma City Thunder is both remarkable and heartbreaking. The organization drafted Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, and it developed Serge Ibaka and built a roster capable of reaching the finals while its stars were still incredibly young. OKC did the hard part. It found greatness, but preserving greatness became a completely different challenge. The Thunder believed they had more time, more healthy seasons, more playoff opportunities, and more chances to replace what had been lost. those chances never arrived in the way the organization expected. 3 future MVPs shared one roster. That roster reached 1 NBA Finals and won 0 championships. The Thunder were not simply a talented team that fell short. They were a possible dynasty dismantled before its prime. And NBA history will always ask the same question. What if Oklahoma City had simply kept them together? If you'd like more videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. And thank you for listening.